How's it going? Ryan here. And today I'm going to go over the two trades that I took on SPY. The first being a small loser, second being a small winner. Ended up on the day green overall, so recovered some of that loss and then a little bit additional on top of that. So not a bad day. Can't complain when you're green. But the past 2 days have been a little tricky for me trading. We'll get into that in a second, but for now we're on the daily time frame here looking at SPY. Some levels, nothing's really changed. We have the red and green are the high and lows of yesterday's trading session. Then we have this yellow line, which is the low, the pre-market. All the other levels are essentially the same. The high of yesterday also kind of coincided with that 437 level, I guess 0.5-ish level that I was watching in terms of a resistance. Actually, let me back this up and we'll take a look. Sorry about that, but this level right here, the most recent lower high, that level that we couldn't really break and close above on the daily time frame, we rejected off it again today, twice, momentarily opening at that level and then holding above it before kind of breaking down from there. So my first trade of the day came from a break out of that level and break of this trend line. I entered puts on the retest. I got stopped out pretty quickly. I had a really tight risk to reward. I didn't want to take a big loss, especially after yesterday coming off a bigger loss. And if you look at this on the 2-minute, it will show kind of what I did here. I took the re-entry, or not re-entry. I took an entry on the retest of that broken support on the 2-minute, so right here, and I exited on this candle. Once we started breaking through pretty clearly, I got out. But what I did see immediately after is that we were coming up to retest this level that we were holding earlier. We had this zone in here that we were kind of in, busted out, a little fake breakout, I would assume, kind of around that 438 before selling off pretty massively with increasing volume. So seeing us reject, seeing that volume increase as we sold off, big bearish candles, I was looking for a play to the downside. I got in on the retest of this trend line. That didn't work out. So I stopped out pretty quick for a small loss. I did re-enter puts on this candle here, on the retest of this zone and the retest of this level. Reason being, huge volume increase as we sell off, big volume decrease. I mean, this is textbook. You have big volume increase as you sell off, volume decreasing as you come up, and then a volume spike on the rejection. So I got in on this candle once I saw us kind of rejecting off that level. This was my second trade of the day. Took puts here, got stopped out for a small loss, took puts again here. Ultimately, my stop on this position was if we broke back above this level. My ideal take profit was this pre-market low here. You see we touched it down here, that's around 9:30. That's about an hour after I got off to go to work. So I wasn't around to see that fully to fruition. But I did sell one contract either on this candle or this candle. When we pushed down and we broke the low a day, I took one contract off as the contracts were moving pretty nice. I took 436 contracts, so quite a bit out of this out of the money. I kind of regret it because percentage-wise they did go up a bit, but in terms of the cost and the amount made per contract, so the percent was pretty good. You know, contracts were like $30 or something, and I made $10. So that's, you know, that's over 30%, roughly. But a $10, you know, gain, that's about like what my risk is usually. I might try to keep my losses $10-15 or so. So the percentage was there. I didn't scale in with enough money to make that percentage really matter, I suppose. I think that's the big thing. If you're looking at cheap, out of the money, 0-day till expiration contracts, yeah, you might make 50%, but if the contract's $40, you know, that 50% is $20. So if you're only trading one contract, the return is pretty minimal in terms of actual profit, not in terms of percentage. Percentage is good. But likewise, if you traded with $1,000 and you got, a 50% return, that's incredible, right? So it's just a matter of scale. And for me, trading with 1 or 2 contracts, that scale wasn't quite there. So I took one contract off here. I held the second contract. I wanted to see us come down here. I thought that, we had increased volume on the sell. We had continuously kind of higher volume selling candles, lower volume green candles, higher volume selling candles. So I thought that we might make our way down. But we kind of just started to chop around in here. I mean, if you look at how long we spent in this range, essentially like a 20-cent range from 8:20 to about an hour we spent just chopping back and forth. So I exited my second position not at the low of the pre-market where my target was, had I held all the way through and done so, that would have been nice. But I exited, where are we? I got out somewhere in here. This candle right here is actually when it was. So we came down and then we started chopping around. And this kind of made me feel a little similar to yesterday where we broke a support, chopped around a little bit, and then rallied to the upside. I saw us struggling to break down any further, and I saw us kind of holding in this tight range. I think this candle right here especially kind of got me because we had high volume and we formed a bit of a hammer, failing to make a lower low. So to me, I saw that, we were having some indecisiveness, having some chop. So I exited my second position on this candle somewhere in here. Overall, made $9 on the day. Like I said, those contracts were cheap. They're like $30 or so when I entered up here. So, and that is accounting for the loss that I had initially. So that win probably would have been somewhere closer to 20 without the loss that I had prior. But nonetheless, is a winning trade. I think the past couple days have been pretty tricky. If you look at this, I mean, yes, we made our way down, but we also kind of chopped back and forth. And if you're in 0 day till expiration, if you're in same day expiration contracts, this chop here, this bounce here, this will kill you. This will grind your premium. You don't want to hold, for an hour plus on a same day expiration. I mean, you could if it's trending well. But if you're chopping and bouncing around and slowly grinding your way in a direction, you're not going to get a ton of appreciation on that contract regardless. So overall, bounced back a little bit from yesterday's loss. Did start the day with a loss. And I am happy. I will say I am proud of myself for not allowing that to stop me from taking this, which the retested trend line, kind of a trash trade. It's the same setup that I did yesterday, and that same setup didn't work. Same setup, I tried it today, didn't work today. So whatever the hell I'm doing with this pre-market trend line break and retest, no more, unless it's like a big trend line on the hourly across multiple days or something and we break that, that's valid. But these little pre-market trend lines, I gotta stick away from those because they've been burning me lately. So but what was a good trade is this right here. And it's just a matter of price action, volume, and a level. I have a level here. We're holding that level, showing it as pretty strong support. We had a failed breakout, huge rise in volume as we sell off, decreasing volume as we come up and retest that broken support. That's a beautiful entry. So second trade I'm pretty happy with. Obviously, I would have liked a little smoother price action rather than some of this. But, can't win them all. Not every trade is going to be perfect. You just have to manage your risk and take the profit that you're happy with and try to stick to your plan. So, overall, super small win today, but a win nonetheless. And we're back in the green after yesterday's lose. So, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you watching this long. You can kind of see what we did. We tested that pre-market low a couple times, came down, rallied back to the upside. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful bottom signal. I didn't even look at that on the 2-minute. This is an important lesson in price action and volume though. Highest volume candle pretty much since the open on a green hammer after we came down, sold off. That's a crazy time to take calls considering we just busted down on high volume on selling. Ooh, that's a beautiful little bear flag to take that breakout. Nonetheless, though, super high volume on a hammer candle. That's the bottom of the day, and we reversed from there. So that's pretty beautiful. But yeah, you can kind of see we went back up, recaptured that pre-market low, made our way back up to that resistance and rejected again. So where are we? We're in the same range that we have been in for days. And maybe it just feels long to me. It's only been 2 days, but why is it not letting me zoom in here? Not a convenient time. We had a period of time where we were stuck in here, and now we have a period of time where we're stuck in here. So it's just more of the same, I suppose. You know, we haven't really got a trending day, but if I were to make a guess, if I were a gambling man, my bet is that we're headed down. Not that we're going to crash down to 400, but we should see a pullback. I would not expect us, I would not be surprised, I should say, to see us come back and fill this gap at least here. Reason being, you see on this rally up, we have big gap ups, no pullbacks at all. On rising volume, we get up to this resistance, big drop in volume, and it looks like kind of some exhaustion if you look at the price action intraday and on the daily chart. We're not getting those big trending days. We're kind of getting more choppy, slower days. So it looks like this run maybe is getting exhausted. I would expect a pullback, maybe, you know, by next week, or, you know, I expect us to make our way back down and probably fill this gap before making any sort of move back to the upside. I think some of this upside, I think a lot of the buyers are waiting for another chance to re-enter rather than entering right at a resistance. So that's just an overview, but that is all I have for you. I do appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I do stream live every Monday through Friday, so if you want to come hang out, it's on this channel. Stop by, get on usually 10 to 20 minutes before market open, chart some things out, talk about what I'm looking at, and then trade for the first hour of the day or so. So if you're interested in that, stop through, say what's up. Yeah, that's all I got. I hope you have a great day. Thank you again for watching. Peace.